and welcome to this week's episode of
Advice for Your Besties.
Woo!
Thanks for that excitement.
I gotta be honest, the last episode I might have been falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. It's okay.
Not to you. You're always a professional.
I am.
I don't know what happened. I was totally ready to go. I'm ready now. Let's do this. Dig deep.
Dig deep. Okay. Well, just in case you're new around here, Advice from Besties is where we take your questions and we answer them, or at least give you thoughts.
Yeah. Not necessarily worth following, but
yeah,
hopefully.
it is. Why are you telling them not to follow?
Well, certainly worth listening to.
Yes. Okay. Worth listening to. We got it. Okay, let's go.
The end.
Hey.
Dig deeper.
Come on. Okay, first question. My brother, who is gay, won't stop flirting with my husband. He acts like it's funny, but it makes my skin crawl. Any idea how to handle this? Ooh. Well, I mean, who cares if your brother gives you the ick and it makes your skin crawl?
No, I could not agree with that, but go on.
I guess, you probably have told him multiple times, stop doing that. And I'm sure your husband is uncomfortable. So
Is he?
I don't know.
It appears that he's not because he's still tolerating it.
Well, maybe her husband can't use his words. So he's just like, okay, ha 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 ha.
I feel like I could nip this in the bud so fast.
Maybe her husband doesn't even realize that he's being flirted with.
I could agree with that.
Yeah. So I think it's more.
You know what I would say? Are you going to fuck my husband right here on the dining room table? No? Well, it seems like you're so desperate that you're working on my sloppy seconds. So I'm sorry you're jealous of me that you can't find your own quality man. But you know what? Enough's enough.
Boom.
Enough's enough. Right. And I would say that in front of my husband, if you can't wrap this up, then I don't think we should hang out, because if you were a lady, this would be so out of bounds. And you think it's cute? It's not.
Okay.
Are you going to wear my clothes too? What are you going to do? Just claim him as yours? Stop. Oh, I would love. If you want me to take care of it, I will. I would be happy to be the heavy on this. I'm already heavy to begin with. Let me take this over for you.
I'm so happy that you asked this question, because that woke Chelsea right up.
I am fired up. I love it.
All right, next one.
Nothing makes my blood warmer than getting fired up.
Especially when it comes to fucking with people's relationships.
Oh, I love it. And drawing a line in the sand, and family. I love putting family in their place.
Oh, you know how you're saying you need a new job for 2024?
Yes.
You should be the heavy on Family Matters. Be you need someone to put someone in their place? Call me up.
Okay, I need a serious job. I would love to do it for free.
No, you should charge people for that.
Well, we'll see what the issue is.
Okay. Next question. I'm terrified my sister has unknowingly joined a cult. She says it's a self-help group, but she's basically spending all of her time with this group at their clubhouse, which is the organizer's personal home. How can I help her see the light of day?
You can't.
No.
She's gone. See ya. It was nice knowing you.
Just make sure you secure a spot on the Netflix special when they're asking for interviews and you want to give your 2 cents. Be like, I got you. Let me be the first one that you interview.
Yes. Here's the thing. If you make this an issue, you're going to alienate and you're going to drive a wedge between the two of you. The best thing you can do is support. Continue to support, especially if this goes south. And I'm not talking Waco, Texas south. I'm just saying you're going to lose her if you don't. And you don't want to lose her, obviously, because you care about her. So I'm sorry that this is happening, because that is a real struggle. And if you are suspecting that it's a cult, 100% it's a cult.
It's a cult.
If there were one more person in our relationship, it would be a cult. but it's just the two of us, so we can get away. Instead, they consider us lesbians because we're so into each other. I'm offended by that. Anyway, not the same, but I'm sorry that this is happening to you. But hopefully your sister is finding some fulfillment that was missing in her life and she's being like built up. I hope she doesn't become a sister wife or like they take advantage of her. That is my hope for you guys.
Yeah, I think once it comes to she's spending her life savings on
textbooks and classes and what do they call those? Sessions,
advancements.
Yeah. And like Sea Org.
Yeah. And then it might be time to just be like, oh, like what's the money going to? What's that used for?
No, I wouldn't necessarily. I think you're right, but I would rephrase it. Like, tell me how this is going. Kind of leave it at open-ended so she's not feeling threatened. Because they're already like chirping in the sister's ear saying like all family are coming at you and they suspect and they're going to bring you down and they hate you, so be prepared to cut them out of your life. I have watched so many documentaries on cults because I'm obsessed.
You should ask her, so are you at the point in the cult right now where they're telling you to ignore your family and any questions that we ask you we're just jealous and
well, I wouldn't put it so I wouldn't necessarily point it so pointedly. Like, I would even almost be like, I'd be down to come to a class or two, just as a plant.
See if you can even go.
Infiltrate just a little bit. Be like, I would be open to just learning more about it, knowing just so you get an idea what's real instead of maybe you are building this up in your head and making it worse than it really is. Maybe you're just selling doTERRA oils.
I was in a cult like that for a short amount of time.
It was very hard for me to watch you.
And it's easy to be like, yeah, it's like great. It's awesome. I'm making a bunch of money. And now I have to go to all of these things every single week. And I have to be friends with these people that maybe I don't want to go. And I have to go to this retreat. And I have to like spend money on this. And I have to spend money on that. And like, if I don't, I'm going to fail. They really suck you in.
They sure do.
Yeah.
They sure do. Yeah. What is the basis of this? What is the motivation? What's like the objective of this particular cult? Like my core power yoga, Lindsay is dubbed a cult. And when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's not that far off. It is a little culty. So what's the harm in it if it is in fact a cult? You want to define that?
Yeah. I would say it probably gets bad when you are giving them all your money.
And you're isolating.
And you're isolating.
And they're cutting you out. So keep us posted. And when's it going to be on Netflix?
What's a cult documentary that you watched recently?
The woman that died, that they crossed her over state lines. She was like mummified.
Oh.
That is a current one.
What was the basis of the cult?
I don't know. She was like the mother and just all the things like follow me and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched one in a while. I think I'm due for a good cult.
I was friends with the sister-in-law with the Mormon cult, that big one. Jeffrey, whatever his name was, the one that crossed lines and then went to federal prison.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Her name was Esther, and she was like the sister-in-law of the youngest brother in the cult. At one point, I finally approached her. I was like, I'm sorry to ask, but are you a sister wife or do you have one? She's like, we don't have one. I was like, why not? She's like, well, the prophet hasn't like presented us with one yet.
What?
Hasn't gifted us one yet because it's the prophet, otherwise known as the older brother, that's like taps him on the shoulder and is like, this one should be in your family. She's like, yeah, he hasn't gifted us with another wife.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I always think about Sister Wives, that show on TLC. Cody is the husband. And then he had his 3 wives, I believe. He was running his own little cult because he had his original wife. And then he's like, okay, we're going to get a sister wife. And then I don't think a prophet tapped him on the shoulder. He just saw a younger, hotter model. And he's like, I also want that sister wife.
Yeah, no, that's different. This was, I forgot what the name of it was, but these poor 14, 13, 11-year-old girls were being raped against their will, obviously.
Yeah.
In the name of like the Holy Spirit.
Oh, wow.
and they were bleeding the congregation dry in terms of tidings. And you're more devoted, the more money you
Right.
contribute. And now these people are like broke. And now the prophet and his family members, his closest circle, now they have property in Montana and Colorado. They're living a very lavish lifestyle.
They're Yellowstone money.
Yeah,
Maybe.
kind of. But yeah, so pretty neat. Good luck to you and your sister.
Yeah, keep us updated.
What's another question?
Okay, I had a mortifying accident on a first date 4 years ago, and I'm so scared to ever go out with another guy again. The guy I went on a date with gave me a hug, and he squeezed too hard, and I farted really loudly. Like so loudly, there's no way of hiding it from anyone or to hide what it was. And the sound still echoes in my ears 4 years later. And I just stuttered and ran inside and cried tears of shame. And I haven't been on a date in 4 years because I'm so shamed by what happened on my last date. How do I get back into the dating game?
Do you not really know the answer to this?
That seems ridiculous.
Okay, you know what? My suggestion is never go on a date again.
Oh. Well, that sounds like a miserable way to end
She's
it.
been torturing herself for the last 4 years. You know
But
what?
She wants to go on a date.
Well, obviously not enough.
I would say there's a highly unlikely chance that that'll happen twice.
And if it does, get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Then don't do that. Take some like what's it called? Beano?
Yeah.
And anti-diarrhea, or don't eat. Maybe fast before.
Or like, yeah,
You
fast. Or like, yeah, eat something light before you go to dinner. Eat something light at dinner. Pick at it.
Don't go to dinner. Don't hug. You shouldn't be touching the first date anyway.
Oh, you can touch on the first date.
Anyway, don't go on any more dates.
I would say have a better strategy for what you're going to eat before you go on the date. And start with a day ahead of time. Don't wait until like day of and like the hour before. It's like have a plan of attack. And if it happens, it happens. You haven't died from this humiliation yet.
I mean, you're torturing yourself 4 years. Come on. There's obviously something wrong with you.
This sounds like an excuse to not go on a date.
Yeah. So that's why I would encourage you never to date again until you are like, okay, enough is enough. I need to get out there.
I encourage you to talk to your therapist about why this is such a block and why you're using this as an excuse to not go on a date.
Right. So don't. If you're going to be a dummy, then that's it.
Then be a dummy by yourself.
Be a dummy. Can I tell you, I really want to go on a Zepic. Why is the universe holding it against me?
I don't know.
Can we text our person and be like, hey, I'm going to do that right now?
Okay, you text her right now and ask her. Because Oprah, she went on Ozempic.
Oh, that's an issue.
She finally decided like, okay, I'm done shaming everyone for being on it because I did it. Yeah, no shit. We know that already.
Yeah. The last time you were this skinny
was never.
Oh, no, in like 83 or 4 or 5.
Know.
I witnessed it.
Okay,
anyway.
So, yeah. Well, that's all of our questions for today. So make sure you share this with your bestie. And if you are in a cult and have some more info about how to get someone out of a cult, let us know. And make sure you like, follow, subscribe at SoFiredPod on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.